We're dealing out damage and dodging defeat. That's right, it's one-hit heroes from Wiggles 3D. In this co-op drafting game for 2 to 4 players, you'll channel your inner Flame Lancer, Bunny Ninja, or Bow Slinger to take down a series of villainous foes. In each standalone episode, you'll face a series of increasingly challenging bosses, but there's a twist. Thanks to a mysterious metal called Infinitum, the villains of this world can defeat our heroes with one hit. You'll use all your tricks, taunts, and training to survive, plus gain new powerful cards with every victory. Start by choosing an episode. For your first game, you're going to want to pick episode 1. Each episode has 4 increasingly fiendish boss fights. Each player takes a player mat and sets an energy slider in the top left, placed with all 3 lightning bolts showing. They also place 3 tokens in the first 3 slots of their aggro bar. More about the aggro bar later. Each player chooses a hero and takes the matching hero deck. Place the hero card in the hero slot on the player mat and find the 2 cards with the blue circuit symbol in the top left. These are your hero's starting items and they go in the item slots. Each player then shuffles the remaining cards into their draw pile. If you're playing as the sneaky sniper Sophia, you'll also grab the hero die and place it near your board. All heroes then draw 5 cards from their draw piles to form their personal hand, and then choose a player to take the first turn. Finally, set up the boss. For your first game of one-hit heroes, open the box for episode 1, The Factory. Each episode has 4 bosses to fight, which must be defeated in order. So we'll start with boss 1, Punchbot. Read the back of the card for any special instructions on this boss, then place the boss mat face up with a matching boss deck face down next to it. Don't shuffle the boss deck, these bosses have their own groove. Their moves are numbered. The top one should have a 1 on the back. Turn it over and start a play pile and reveal the boss's opening move. Boss mats have a name and some sweet art, an effect box, and 2 different health values, one for light damage and another for heavy damage. Take tokens up to those numbers and place them near the boss mat. Finally, take the die with the multicolored hexagons on it and place it near the boss mat. This is the attack die, and if you think that sounds like trouble, your heroic instincts are strong. Gameplay occurs in turns, beginning with the first player. After they've taken their turn, the boss takes a turn, then another player turn and another boss turn, alternating until the end game. Each hero's turn has 3 phases: Scout, Fight, and Rest. In the Scout phase, flip the top card of the boss deck to find out what action they'll be taking with their upcoming turn. Plus, you can reveal a hint of their next move. Skip this Scout step on the first turn since we already flipped the first card. Next, in the Fight phase, the active player plays up to 3 cards from their hand. Let's take a look at the types of cards. Weapon cards have this orange laser gun symbol. They mostly help you damage the boss. Whenever you do damage, you'll be removing the matching tokens from the enemy's health and adding them to your own aggro bar, filling the empty slots from left to right. No matter the damage type, whether light or heavy, they fill the aggro bar in the same way. Your aggro bar will fill up during the fight as your attacks and other cards are resolved. The more of the bar you've covered in tokens, the more of a tempting target you're making yourself out on the field, and the more likely you are to get caught in the enemy's attacks. Action cards are often helpful for managing aggro and other non-damaging effects, and have this purple silhouette symbol, which kind of looks like someone doing the Naruto run, but you don't have to Naruto run when you play one, though you should. Item cards are your gadgets and gear, and often have additional passive or once per turn abilities. They can be activated at any point of the fight phase, even between actions. Items play a key role in one-hit heroes because all items can block hits. And remember, 1 hit is all it takes to take a hero out. You can only have up to 2 items in play at a time, and if you play a new item while both slots are full, the item being replaced is destroyed. When you block with an item, it is also destroyed. Move it to your burn pile on the right side of your mat. Finally, the cards with green logos depicting an hourglass and lightning bolt are your reactions. These cards don't count towards the 3-card plays on a turn, but can be played at specific times that will be noted on the card itself, even during a boss's turn. Once a player has played up to 3 cards and used their item's abilities, they move to the rest phase. Ignoring items in item slots, played cards move to either the burn or discard piles based on the associated symbol under the card type. A green recycling symbol means it goes to the discard to be drawn again. A red fire means add it to the burn pile where it's out of rotation, but there are a few ways to fish them out later. Players then draw back to a hand of 5 cards. If they need to draw and their draw pile is empty, they shuffle their discard pile into a new draw pile. Next up, the boss's turn. First, resolve the basic effect on their boss mat. For PunchBot, this shows a condition and an action. If any hero has tokens in the red part of their aggro bar, PunchBot attacks. Whenever a boss attacks, a player will roll the attack die to determine who gets hit. If the die lands on miss, all heroes are safe. If it lands on hit, every hero will be attacked. But if it lands on a colored hexagon, players must check their aggro bar. If a player has tokens on their bar in that color, they are attacked. When a player is attacked, they must try to prevent the hit by blocking a hit with an item, which destroys it, or by playing a reaction card, which prevents the hit. If a player has no way to block and no one has a relevant reaction to save them, their hero takes 1 hit and the whole team goes down in defeat. Next, resolve any effect listed on the boss deck card. In this case, the heroes all gain 3 aggro. After resolving the effect, the boss's turn is over and a new hero turn begins. Some other important mechanics of one-hit heroes: energy. This is what heroes use to power many abilities. It's tracked with the lightning bolts in the top left of the player's mat. Player's energy level resets between boss fights but can never exceed 3. Some boss cards have minions. Add the indicated health tokens when they're revealed and defeat them the same way as the bosses. Players can split damage between enemies as desired, or split friendly abilities that specify other heroes across multiple allies. Also, when dealing damage, it's always possible to downgrade heavy damage to light damage, but never the reverse. Players might do this if they need to deplete the light damage pool, but only have a heavy damage attack. Play continues until one of the following happens. Either a hero takes a hit and the team is defeated, or the last tokens are removed from the boss's mat. If that happens, it's time for a victory pose. The heroes win. If the heroes are defeated, reset the boss fight using the same setup and try again. On a second attempt, players may pull a boosted opening hand, draw 7 cards, and discard 2 before starting the fight. Once players defeat the boss, they get more than just bragging rights. Find the matching pack of cards for the boss that's been defeated and open it up. Each player will draft new cards from that set to add to their hero deck for the rest of the episode. The player who did the final damage chooses a card first, and selection continues clockwise until all heroes have chosen 2. Any excess cards are added to the armory, a slot in the box for future battles. Players head into the next fight with some new tricks up their power armored sleeves. In future boss fights, if a player has more than 2 items in their deck now, they may choose which 2 they'd like to start with, shuffling the rest of their cards into their draw deck. Once the heroes have defeated all 4 bosses, they've finished the episode. Each hero's starting deck will go into one of the slots in the box, and all the new cards that were opened will be removed from the decks and go into the shared armory. When players defeat a boss they've successfully faced before, they draft cards from the shared multi-episode armory. Draw 10 cards from the armory, draft 2 each as usual, then replace the rest. This means episode cards can mix together and be drafted for future adventures, creating a new play experience every time. And that's the basics of one-hit heroes. I'm Becca Scott. This is Good Time Society, and we have lots more tips on managing your aggro coming soon on our new show, Heroic Relaxation Hour. I find a nice herbal tea does wonders for me personally. Thanks for watching. Be sure to give this video a like, subscribe to the channel, and come on back for more great games and good times. Bye-bye.